It's another Skills Friday for you guys today. Today we're going to talk about how to get more interceptions and zone coverage. I know a lot of y'all are playing 7-on-7 right now. Well, some of y'all. I had ran a poll and a lot of y'all said y'all ain't know what that was. But 7-on-7 is football where it's 7 offensive players, 7 defensive players. And they're basically playing just a pass skeleton type of football where they can't run the ball. And they're throwing passes. But we're going to talk about how to get more interceptions and zone coverage. And a lot of y'all need to understand this. DBs, if you're a cornerback, safety, even a linebacker, dog, make sure you got your pen and pad out. Make sure you understand these things. Because if you don't understand these things, you're not going to get no picks. And if you can't get no picks, your coach is going to be like, why I got him out there? Or you can't scare the guy into making any picks or making any incompletions why they got you out there. So let's get into it. To get more picks, we have to understand 3 things. The first thing we got to do is we got to understand and master our responsibility. So there are 4 major coverage we're going to go that's really used in football. We're going to break this down. We're going to make this ultra simple. We're not going to overcomplicate this. And in all of football, don't matter what level you're playing on, don't matter what country you're in, don't matter what state you're in, the language of football, there's only 4 major coverages that you really need to understand, and especially as a D-back and a linebacker. First one is cover 1. Cover 1 is what we got here with Georgia. Georgia's defense, this is actually from the national championship game. Go Dogs. And Georgia's defense, they're in a cover 1. The reason I know this is because, first and foremost, I had watched the play first, but you can tell from the alignment a little bit. This deep safety, we got 1 high safety, and these guys appear to be in man coverage. He's playing off man, he's playing man, he's close up on his guy, and the guy down here, he's playing man. So what you want to focus on in cover 1, there's always 1 high safety. 1 guy playing the deepest part of the field, and the rest of the guys underneath are in man coverage. Even the linebackers is in man coverage. This linebacker has this running back. This safety has this receiver. And that is so on and so forth. And let's see it. As you see on the play, they shift. He bumps down. He's rushing off this edge. And they're still with the 1 high safety. And they just come and make a play. Simple. 1 high safety. So the one thing you want to make sure you understand in cover 1 is there's 1 high safety. He has the deepest part of the field. He's covering. He's basically like a center fielder in baseball. He's covering everything. Cover 1. As a corner, just think man. It's basically man for you. If you're a safety, know if you're the free safety or the strong safety, and know which one of y'all has the deep coverage. But other than that, it's probably going to be man for you as well. Second coverage we're going to go over to is cover 2. Cover 2 is a different type of coverage where initially you have 2 high safeties. And there's 2 high safeties share half of the field. Excuse me. 1 safety has 1 deep half of the field. The other safety has the other deep half of the field. Usually the corners have the flat part of the field. Sometimes there's cover 2 man, whereas the corners will be playing man coverage. But the corners, you need to understand if it's cover 2 man or if it's cover 2 regular. Because if it's cover 2 regular, you have a zone coverage. But if it's cover 2 man, you're probably going to be a man. And I'm not y'all coach, but I'm definitely y'all football mentor. And your coach should make this more clear to you. Because I don't know what plays y'all call. But at the same time, there's probably a basis of this into the defense that you guys are running. Where it's like you'll have a cover, like right here. This is obviously more than likely probably cover 2 man. This corner is matched up with this receiver. He's playing close cover, bump and run. So he's probably playing man to man. And if it's cover 2 man, same thing with linebackers. Linebackers, if it's cover 2 man, you're in man coverage. If it's a cover 2 zone, pay attention. These guys are going to drop back. He'll drop back here. They'll drop back right here. And he'll drop back right here. And if it's zone for corner, you'll have the flat area right back here. Right here. Nothing deep. just like I said, cover 2 is 2 guys deep. Cover 1 is 1 guy deep. Cover 3, 3 guys deep. Cover 4, 4 guys deep. So, as you see right here, we're going to play the play. And, yeah, we guessed it. It's cover 2 man. So, with it being cover 2 man, they got caught in man coverage. So, that's on them. And let's get into it. Cover 3. Cover 3, Seahawks ran this. Their Legion of Boom had ran this with Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas. They had the one dude, Lane. I think his name was Jerome Lane or Jeremy Lane. He was a decent corner too. He got paid. No, Byron Maxwell got paid. But that was a good system. But 3 with cover 3 is 3 guys deep. These guys are hiding it because the Rams have a closer coverage. So you see Richard Sherman right here. Right now, initially, he's not showing this deep coverage. But we got 1 corner deep, and we got this free safety by himself deep. Now, we're going to play the play. Once they motion, you see Richard Sherman drop back deep. There's 3 guys that's going to be deep. Now, what I will explain before I show you the rest of the play. This is a little different because a lot of times, depending on the team, the zone will be different. The corners usually in cover 3 have the deep third. Everybody has a deep third. 2 corners will have a deep third, and there will be 1 safety that has a deep middle, just like in cover 1. Whereas the outside linebackers will now have the flat area where they're covering the numbers to the sideline. And these middle linebackers will drop into a curl flat zone, basically short middle of the field. Try to guard anything where it's like a slant or slant curl or flat curl slant, anything that's in the middle of the field that's short. But now let's watch it here. They might do a different arrangement of it, but let's see. And they kind of they do the regular cover 3. So as you see, when corners dropped safe, they went straight back. They was like, all right, well, whether you go back or not, we got this deep third. And that's important to know. Like when you're playing cover 3 or any of these zones, you want to make sure that you're able to master your responsibility. You want to make sure you're able to get that third of the zone. If you're in cover 3, cover 2, you want to make sure you're able to get deep half. If you're a safety, if you're a corner, you want to make sure you're able to do that responsibility, whatever your responsibility is. Now look, as they drop back, the safety drops back deep. He's like, okay, there's nobody deep. This guy kind of stops short, and there's nobody coming to my zone. So I'm going to just drop in. Oh, yeah, that was a terrible throw. Let me get this pick. Thank you. I think that's Earl Thomas. He ain't got no. Okay. He's doing something with it. No juice. He ran out of juice. Some people just ain't got that return ability, and we ain't going to gash them on here, but it's cool. It's cool. You just got to work on it. And cover 4. This is a lot blurrier, but cover 4, just like I explained to y'all, and just like as you could guess, there'll be 4 deep dudes. So this is literally when you have 2 safeties, 2 corners, all 4 of them dropping back deep. Underneath is a little bit more complicated. Sometimes they run inside cover 3, depending on the. I have a 4-3, depending on the defense you're in. The linebackers will drop to a curl flat, and then the 1 will have the middle of the field. Now with the curl flat, as a linebacker, you're covering a little bit more zone because you're looking for a curl flirt first, curl slant first, and then you're dropping to the flat if he runs to the outside. If anybody goes to the outside. And as you can see here, it's a little bit more grainy. These guys all go deep. And somebody goes to the flat, but they come to the middle of the field because it's you kind of leave a hole in the middle of the field with this coverage. And a linebacker, he's responsible for it. The one linebacker drops it back in the middle, but it looks like here they don't have enough linebackers. It looks like they added a corner. They try to do something funky with the added coverage, but this guy he was left too easily in the middle of the field, and he was able to get busy. Now that we understand the responsibilities, we have to understand the objective of the QB. That's the next point. understand where the QB is trying to go. Now, let's go back to the cover 3. With the cover 3 coverage, let's go back to the play that we watched in terms of interception. Earl Thomas, this safety, he's deep. He understands he has deep middle. And with that, he's like, okay, I understand. I've mastered my responsibility. I understand my responsibility. I have the deep middle of the field. My corners is my guys. We gonna lock this down. They gonna tell me if anybody's going to run a deep post. They're going to tell me if anybody's coming in my zone from their area. My linebackers is going to keep it real with me. But I can see everything. What I'm looking at right now, I'm looking 2-1. I'm looking at this guy in the slot, or I'm looking at this tight end first, then I'm looking at this corner. That's what you're looking at as a deep high safety. I know because I once played safety in high school. But you're looking at this, and look how he literally looks and plays it out. Nobody really defends his zone. So now he's playing backyard football. Now he's looking at Jared Goff. Now he's like, okay, where is this quarterback going? His eyes shift straight to the quarterback. Now they're like, okay, these guys ain't threatening me at all. I'm looking at where the quarterback's pointing his shoulder to throw the ball, looking where he's looking. Nobody's going to throw a no-look pass except Patrick Mahomes. I can promise you. Bro, there is nobody on earth other than Patrick Mahomes that's going to throw a no-look pass. It's not going to happen. And I'm willing to bet anything on that. Like Patrick Mahomes is the only dude I've ever seen do that. Ever. He's the only one bold enough to do it. But these quarterbacks are going to tell you. Now, the quarterback you're looking at as a deep safety, you're looking at, or deep safety, even if you're a corner and you see a guy in your zone, right? This deep corner down here, he sees the guy in his zone. He doesn't threaten him deep, but he's like, okay, there's nobody else threatening me, so I'm going to just kind of attach myself to him and not make sure he throws it to him. Anytime you're on the zone, you're looking at the quarterback, because as a deep third, as a corner, deep third, you in any zone coverage, whether you're a quarterback, linebacker, cornerback, linebacker, safety, you want to look at the quarterback. You want to make sure you got your eyes on the quarterback, and you want to pay attention to that shoulder, that front shoulder when they're throwing. That's where they're trying to throw the ball. That's where they're looking to throw the ball. And once you see that, that's when you want to break on the receiver. You want to see where the receiver's going. Earl Thomas sees this early. He's like, okay, bro, like you ain't going deep. You got this guy in the middle of the field. My linebacker's kind of chilling. Now I'm ready. I'm on dirt. I'm ready to blast this receiver in the next year. But what ends up happening? He comes to fly down. He throws the ball, and the ball's a bad pass. He's like, oh, bad pass. Let me get that pick. And one thing, and the last point that we're going to get into is you got to understand how to trick the quarterback into throwing to your area. This is the last point, because you shouldn't be doing this unless you've mastered your responsibility. You understand it first. You know what your responsibility is. You've mastered your responsibility. You can literally play the coverage with your eyes closed. And you understand where the quarterback's trying to go. Dudes like Deion Sanders, this is why Deion Sanders has so many picks. Literally. Now, when you try to trick the quarterback into throwing to the area, you understand the route combination that's coming. You understand what the offense is trying to do. And sometimes you'll literally play the receiver off. So, like, if we play another play, right? Let's get into the next play. No, this is the same play. But now, one thing Earl Thomas could have done, if he was like, okay, I'm going to trick this guy into throwing it into my zone, he can make the guy seem open when he's not. This literally takes, like I said, this is cold-blooded mastery. Like, this is when you've literally got all three of those last two steps down pat. You understand and master your responsibility, and you understand where the quarterback's trying to go. Now, in understanding this, if you was a DB and you was Earl Thomas and you seen like this guy deep in, one thing I do is I deep to the right, I deep to the left a little bit, or I deep to the right. I let the quarterback think he was open, just so I could break on it, have a good pick, good line to have an interception. Just like I said, this is advanced stuff. This is not something you should just be trying. But as you see here, he literally sees nobody. He throws a terrible. That was dang. No wonder he plays for the Lions now. But he's an NFL quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. But that was not a good pass. But anyways, you want to make sure that you trick the quarterback. You want to make sure the quarterback sees that receiver and he's like, oh, he's open. But you have the line on the interception. One thing I could tell y'all, personal experience, and this is the last thing I'm going to say for the video. I remember my junior year, I tried to do this. I tried to do this actually a lot. I remember we was playing a team called Older Dice, and they had this humongous tight end. And they used to run this pass where it was like a seam. No, it was playing Westinghouse. The school was called Westinghouse. They had this tight end, and they used to run this seam where he ran right down the hash marks. We was playing cover 3, and I remember when we was playing cover 3, I played it over top, and I seen the quarterback ready to throw to him, but the quarterback tried to put it on him, and when he put it on him, I broke instantly because I'm like, okay, you're basically giving me this interception. I broke on it, and I went to jump for the ball. And because I was so anxious, it went through my hands, and the dude caught it and scored. That was actually an embarrassing story, but I said that to say this. You got to do that last step. You got to be ready to do that. You can't just be out here doing that, because if you do it and then the guy catches it and he scores, your coach is going to chew you out. Like, I literally got I got chewed out on the sideline. My coach was asking me what was I thinking. I told him exactly what I did, and he was like, I mean, that was smart, but you gotta make the play. Like, you can't be doing that and not make the play. And that stuck with me, because it was like a lot of times we do things and we're like, oh well, I almost had it, but it's like nobody cares if you don't make the play. You know what you did, but at the same time you gotta make the play. And I care, because y'all care, but at the same time we gotta make those plays. So don't do that unless you know for a fact you got it like that. And, try it out. It works. So remember, understand and master your responsibility, understand the objectives of the quarterback, and understand how to trick the QB and just throw it into your area. Peace.
Check this video out on the screen if you want to be mean on that green, or real on that field, or extort on that court. The No Baller Left Behind Act supports this video. You feel me?